Tonight's topic with the TessaMarie is about resilience. And guess what? As part of the Movement Maker, we have monthly challenges. And this month's challenge is about exploring resiliency. So, what can you tell us about resiliency, TessaMarie?
My take on resilience is being flexible in body, mind, your body and your mind. That is, to me, that is resilience. It means you have to be able to bounce back or have that bounce ability type of thing. It is a certain type of toughness. You have to be tough. But not only the mind, but also the body and, your mind, your body, but also it must come through your words.
Yeah.
You cannot just sit there and be resilient, because when you look at the meaning of the word resilient, it tells you a strength of character.
That is true. I would agree with you.
Hardness, adaptability. Yeah. It's like the buoyancy of the water.
Yeah.
So I love that, and I really thrive in it.
And to add to just what you mentioned, when you go through all kind of experiences, sometimes the first time it happened to you, it may be negative, but the more you build character, as you mentioned, the more we become positive, and the better our words become too.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
I think you can tie resilient with emotional stability.
Okay.
Because if you're emotionally stable and something happens, because your emotion is how you react to what happened, right? So we either react this way or react the other way. So for me, with resilience, when I look at the word resilience and I feel it, is how am I going to take this?
Yeah.
What you just said to me, or what you said about me, or what happened to me, or the change in something happened that's not pleasant. Maybe nobody's involved, but it's just me. How am I reacting to that situation? So it makes my emotion comes into play, and I can choose to, to react badly or to react, differently. Like road rage to me is a classic case of not being resilient. The person just, you cannot pull back. But the resilient to say, no, I'll just have to walk away from that and try to fix this another time.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's very true. It's funny because sometimes I tell my friends that when you drive, sometimes the morning drive is more aggressive than the mid-afternoon drive. And you can feel that, actually. You can feel how resilient people are just with the environment.
Yes, and not only that, but you're not driving for yourself, right? You're driving for everybody else on the road too.
Yeah.
That makes it, you have to be resilient and keep forward and keep going and say, I have to get there. I must get there. And I'm going to be doing this so I get where I'm going in one piece. And that takes a lot of you.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes, you look at a failure and you say it's just, like, how Rudyard Kipling talked about failure. He said, they're imposters. A failure and a success, they're both imposters. They just last for a time.
That's true.
So that is one of the things we know for sure with resilience, is that if you push through, it will let go. It must let go. And that's what I don't look at a failure as a problem. I look at it, you know what? I need to go beyond you. How do I get beyond you? And that takes resilience.
I do agree. Sometimes I see when you have a failure and you just like fall down a little bit, it depends how long you're going to stay down. If you have little resilience, then it may take a couple hours to a couple days to get back on your feet. But when you have more resilience and you build it, something happens and you say, well, let's see if I can try it again. And within minutes, sometimes you can shift how you feel with what you're doing.
Yes, you do. So how do you cope with resilience?
Oh, that's a good one. I go for walks, actually. I love nature walks. Nature walk is my one thing that allows me to ground myself, to step up to what I have to do. So if you ask my kids ever so often, I would, in one afternoon, I say, oh, I'm going for a walk. So sometimes in the morning, afternoon, evening, there's a few paths with trees. When I have trees, it allows me to say, okay, let's see, trees are there, they're moving and growing slowly, and then everything works out in its way. So trees and nature walk has been my savior in many ways.
Well, I live in a forest.
Oh, nice.
That's what I call it. Where I live, the trees, there are more trees than people,
Oh,
I love outdoors. I love the garden. I love anything to do with nature. I just love nature.
yes.
I
I've seen your garden.
I am the person that can come out at 5 o'clock and just lie on the grass in the morning, 5 a.m., and I just love vibration. So I learn resilience from nature. Nature is so resilient because look at how much destructive we are to the world, and it just popping up and trying plants and flowers and trees and the animals, everything. They're so resilient. You look at them and you study them. Like you look at the trees, like this time of the year, I always look at the fall as the most intriguing season. It has it has a lot of spring. You get the rain, which the trees need to ripen the leaves, right?
Yes.
Then you get the wind to let it fall, but you get the heat, which also helps to make sure they turn the colors they need to turn. But in a forest, you need the moisture on the ground. Then you need the leaves to cover the young seeds and acorns and the little things that will grow to make those big trees in the spring. So if we do not have fall, we won't have spring, summer, or winter, because fall takes a bit from all the three seasons and creates itself.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
And life teaches us the sun shines every day. It does not stop shining because it's raining. We don't see it, but it's at work. And the minute the rain stops or the cloud moves, pop, here comes the sun, and we're all excited. But if the sun had decided to quit, it wouldn't have been able to come through at that one little moment. So I love nature. I study nature a lot, and I see life. To me, it's just life. The circle of life, our life, is through nature.
Yeah, I do agree. It's funny because talking about how nature you see, so nature walks help you quite a bit, and you almost talk about the process to get back on your feet and build resilience. The other thing I like a lot is clouds. When everything is very fast and I don't know where to look at, I just stop and look at clouds, and then they just move slowly. They don't worry about anything. And that's one way for me to say, okay, the clouds can go one step at a time. Let's see if I can go one step at a time. And that's what resilience is all about.
And that is what it is. That is being resilient to the point, you know what? I'm not rushing through the journey called life. And a lot of us forget to taste the process of the journey. And I wrote a story about that, because getting to the finish line is not important. Because although you get to the finish line, I found that out when my son won some huge medal for track or whatever it was. And he said, you know, Mom, when they were putting this thing on me, I didn't think of that moment when they're doing. I was thinking of what I had to do to get to this moment.
Yes.
And that's true. You know, it was a process. So because there were times he had to be resilient. I remember his feet, on shoes, and it was cut. His feet were cut and bleeding, and he had to run, but he needed to get to that point in the race, you know. And he said, so that is resilient, because you have a choice. You can say, my feet is bleeding in my shoes, I'm going to stop. But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that resilience makes you go, I need to push a little further. And in that book, the whole world talks about, like, they just discovered it in the last century. Think and Grow Rich. It tells you the man they were 3 feet from gold.
Oh, there you go.
When they sold the gold mine, they were just, all the person who bought it from them had to dig was 3 feet to find the vein. And so if they were a little bit more resilient and said, no, we need it and we have to do it, they would have found that vein.
Yeah, it is true. And often that life is very fast, and we think that we need to keep up, and we don't take time just to sit, say, okay, what do I really want to do? What do you really want to do to get to where you want to go? Because sometimes we get busy, but we're not focusing on what matters. So
Well, we can get busy, but you ever heard this saying, we're busy doing nothing?
Yeah, I know.
We're just going in a circle.
Yes.
We're busy doing nothing. And you're wondering why, you know? Why
Yeah.
so busy? And you get to the end of the day and you cannot see what you've done.
Yeah.
And then you need to look back and see when you stopped. When did I stop?
Yeah.
Why didn't I just try again? Why didn't I get up? And
Mm.
I love that poem by Theodore Roosevelt, The Man in the Arena. I have two favorite poems I always use. And there's another one by John Whitmer. But if by Rudyard Kipling and Theodore Roosevelt, The Man in the Arena, he said, it's not the critic that counts, it's the man in the arena who knows what it is to fail and stand up and try again and again. And that's resilience at work. And
Yeah,
then
it is.
when it settles, everybody says, oh, I knew you could do this. And you want to turn around and go, no, you didn't. No, you told me I quit.
I know. That's true. Or they see just the end result and they don't see all the efforts for the last year or two that you focus on what you had to do. It's true.
Yeah. And everybody is telling you, oh, Elaine, I knew you could do this. You know, you could do it. I had a no. You told me I was a fool to do this. And now I am.
Yeah. It is true. That's what I like about the movement makers. We all support each other in many ways, even though we don't know if we're going to get it or when. We just keep going, and it's amazing.
We do. We keep going. It's an amazing group of people, you know. You meet such wonderful people. Like somebody was talking to Evan on her anniversary of her year, and it was Belinda, and she said, when I came into Movement Makers, I had a different thought of what I was going to get. She said, I thought I would get followers and I have people coming to hear me and to see me, and you know. And then she said, I didn't get that. I didn't get the followers. But I got such amazing friendships from that.
Yeah.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it makes you feel, you know, amazing. Like Yuko that's on here now. We have this amazing relationship. And I've never set eye on her in person.
Oh, imagine that. Yeah, that's true. All virtually. Yes.
All virtual, and we have this relationship that we talk and we zoom in that we see each other and share. And we do the Sunday show. And we're just pushing forward. And today we were talking about courage. And it's just jumping in and doing it and saying, okay, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. But that is what it is getting there. We collaborated about 9 months ago. We started this journey.
Yeah.
It's a long time. It's, you know, being movement makers 3 months and meeting each other and deciding to do this. So.
Yeah, I do look up to you and Yuko because you've been working very hard and you've been consistent. And I said, like I'm trying to get to be able to what you do. And that's why I was very happy you wanted to talk to me today.
Oh no,
I feel honored. I feel honored.
Sharing. And it's consistency is not something that doesn't mean that I talked about it this morning in my morning blessings, right? And I'm saying, somebody says to me, how do you do this? I'm always getting these DMs. How do you stay consistent? How do you get your content? How do you get the energy? I want one lady who doesn't know me from Australia said, I saw your live and I want what you have. What are you taking?
Oh, I see.
And I said, I had to say to her, I just love what I do. I'm not taking anything. And so this morning, I shared and I said, I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, but I don't just have it, my subconscious mind, which I believe is my body, is telling me, oh, the bed is warm. You can cuddle up a little bit, you can get under the blanket, you can spend 15 minutes, just 15 minutes. That's all I need. And I have to fight that thing that is telling me 15 minutes. And I'm saying, no, get out of my way. I literally talk to my thoughts or my fears like the human being. I actually do that because I realize I prefer to be waiting at the station for the train than to be chasing down, you know, at the train station at Ville-Saint-Marie, trying to catch the station to get the train. And I'm saying, no. So for that, I wake up early. But it's not because it's easy, but I love the results.
And it makes a difference.
Yes.
You have the 15 minutes. I have a trick from Mel Robbins. She has the 5-second rule. And usually what when I'm lying down, as soon as I say 5, I know, okay, I have till 1 to get up.
I
And
always
it's
right away, but your body, your mind is going. I'm telling you to stay. I don't listen to it. I jump right on and I go, oh yeah, not me. You're not
nice.
it. But I get up 7 days a week at the same time.
Oh, there you go.
I don't
I,
change from 5 to sleep in. I really love it. And
mhm.
it's because, and that is what gives you consistency, and that is what gives you like the resistance to fight it, because you know what you're doing. But you have to enjoy what you like to for you to
That's true.
you,
And to add to what you were mentioning about how it gives energy to talk to each other. Like you love what you do because by discussing, we have better days because of what we shared, what we've
yeah.
learned from each other, and it's amazing.
And you know, people, we do not have to go far
Yeah,
to learn how to live our life. We just have to look at our human body, how it was designed. We eat, but if we don't excrete, we will get sick and die.
it's true.
So it's the same thing. You can take all the knowledge, you can grab as much as you want, but if you do not hand out some to somebody to make room, like, you know, we've been drinking water and the cup is half empty. So now I can add some to it. And that's how I look at knowledge. If you know something, share it. It's my father used to say to us, knowledge is not yours to keep. What you know, you must teach.
Yeah, that's true.
And we have to give it to somebody else. There's always somebody who wants a little.
Yeah,
And when you feel that you do not have enough to share, then you're not learning and you will not be contented. You'll always be looking over your shoulder to see who is catching up to you. And in the process, you're losing the race because you're not focused on the race, you know?
yeah, I do. I agree. No, I agree with you. I remember when I was a geologist, and when you meet in conferences with other geologists, you just talk so that you can learn to become better geologists as a group. And I remember there was one that was in the 90s, a few years back. There was one person from Chile who was at the conference, and he just could not believe that we were sharing everything we knew. Because in his mind, what he was thinking, he says, if I share everything I know, someone else could take my job. And
Wow.
so I thought it was an interesting, and I did understand his perspective because there was a lot of competition. But you could see competition between different people, or you could decide to have competitions together. Then you can learn from each other, you can share ideas. So overall, the group gets better. And that's so much better. That's why I think Movement Maker is amazing.
It is because my again, I keep referencing my parents, but they were so very powerful with their teachings in our lives. So my dad said, it's not the person, like they had a bakery, this, you know, this bakery, and he said, it's not the person that's opening a bake shop next door to me that's my competitor. Is the person who has a shoe shop next to me. That's my, because I want them, I want the people, instead of buying shoes to buy bread, they're going to buy bread anyway.
Yes.
So
Oh, I see.
me or this man that sells bread, that is not my competitor. My competitor is the other place where they spend their money. I want them to come to me. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
so that it makes sense because you're not competing with the same. You already can do it. You prove there is no competition there because you're both very good at it already.
Yeah.
So
And
that's afraid to share.
yeah, it's the whole idea of scarcity. If you feel that there's scarcity in knowledge, in love, or in opportunities, then you feel that. But if you feel that there's no scarcity and there's lots of it, then you can give. The more you give, the more you receive at the same
Yeah.
time. That's
And
what I believe anyway.
I believe it, and it sometimes it does not come back from the same person that you helped or you gave. It does, and you get it, and you when you are generous to share yourself, right, or
Mhm.
your ability, or your knowledge, or you help others, and you maybe say, you know what, try it this way. What you're doing, that I found out this is easier. You will find for you, if you really take your time and look at your own life, reflect, you will notice that you're doing so much better and you're wondering how come everything flows. And that person, people will say, oh, everything you touch turns to gold, you know, oh, you're so good at it. You do this, but that's because I'm constantly trying to better myself by helping to better you.
I
And
agree.
don't always see that. And like you said, they call it the scarcity mindset. I
It's
just call
true.
it I just call it plain damn selfish.
Oh, well, that's true. I'm trying to be positive and using the better words.
Is that what it is?
Oh, that's funny. Wow. Yeah, it is fun. Before we came in, I went to see your YouTube channel because you have your 5 pillars, and so, oh, I couldn't remember all your pillars, so I was doing a research, and I like your mental pillar, and this is what resiliency is all about:
Yeah,
grounding yourself and doing so much more.
yeah. So what do you think of the mental pillar? Or maybe you can be like most people and ask me why do I call them the pillar of prosperity? What do you think of the mental pillar of prosperity?
From my perspective, so I don't know, I don't have your experience in all of it, but for me, a mental pillar of prosperity is to realize that if you take care of yourself and take a moment to reflect that you're great where you are, but you can be greater, then you can somehow be positive and get better. And the reason why I see a table, I was thinking of a five-legged table. So as a table, you need all the pillars to be together. So you need mentally to be strong for yourself and others, but all the other one as well. So financially and spiritually. That sometimes it's harder than the mental pillar. And what was the other one? Let's see, the emotional. The emotional is one that is tricky as well. So that's how I see the pillar. We're trying to grow at the same time. Sometimes there's a pillar that collapses, and then you hope that together all of those will support you. Does
Yeah,
that make sense?
it is, because resilience comes from taking your pillars and realizing, okay, today I did not do emotionally good. I really blew up at my boss, and I took the information when they were just trying to fix me and tell me to try again. And I blew up. I know I have to go to listen to that. I might be suspended. And that affects your mental, because no, you're mentally stressed and you're going, I can't even remember what to do, and I don't know what to say. And that's how we destroy our the pillars. It's how we react emotionally. Mentally, if we push and we're losing it emotionally, we are not thinking right. We are not retaining the information that we learned and apply it at the right time. We fail again. Then they might say, you're rude, your emotional reaction to that. No, you're not doing your job properly. Out you go. You have no money. You can't. So that is 3 pillars are down. How you expect to believe in God and say, I have spiritual guidance? No, God didn't look after me. You're blaming the God you know. And that one kills you. So you have
Mhm.
destroyed it, and now you're sitting at home eating candies and physically, because you're eating chips, I'm eating this, and you're physically, I'm not going to exercise, and your physical health is taking another hit.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of things that I find that happens with the pillars. And when I discovered them, or I created them, I had no idea I would ever end up doing this. I was just tutoring for free, which I have done for years, on financial, because that's
Okay.
my background, right? And this young man was here, and he was sitting at the table, and he's like this, and he's so down, and he's talking about finances, finances, finances. But the more I dug into him, I found out, no, it's not your finances that is the root. It is a symptom, but it's not the cause. His cause was he was emotionally destroyed.
I see.
He was a man. I am a man. I'm supposed to be making the bigger money. And my wife is making more money than me.
Oh, I see.
So that was and she didn't know better. She's telling him, I make more money than you. So
And
he,
it's
so,
and it's hard.
so
Sorry, go ahead.
he was emotionally drained. And that's when I said no. So I had to work on his emotion and call her, talk to her, and said, he's studying. He's going to get there. It takes two to tango. It's a common goal, this family of yours and these kids of yours. You're working together. And sometimes somebody makes less than the other. But at the end, it's how it works for the family. So they did fix it. But he was so despondent, and he stopped going to the gym. And so then
Mm.
I created the pillars. And But resilience is realizing my spring is broken. But you know, can I patch it? Can I, you know what? It's not working. Can I fix it? Can I continue going? Can I ask for help? Can I talk to somebody and say, please help me? You know, things are not working for me. And I think to be resilient, you need to be able to ask for help and
I
guide.
have to agree. Yep, I do agree. And also be mindful of people around you. Some people don't know how to ask for help, but sometimes just paying attention can make a big difference for
Yeah.
some.
And to maybe have that thing that you do not assume that that person knows what to do, you know, or you
Yeah, that,
actually,
mhm.
and then you have to know how you're coming in. The door might be quite open, and but you see, oh, I could help you. I really could help them. So how do you go around it to say, you know, I'm here for you?
Mhm.
And
And there's some topics we're not used to talk about. There's some people they don't talk about money, and other people they don't talk about spirituality, or other people don't talk about emotions. It's
no,
an effort, and you need to learn that.
yeah,
And
I
it's a
is that it's all part of life. I look at the five pillars like the fingers on your hand. If you cut one finger, the thumb gets cut, and everything else is falling apart. Like if you do not want to be around, if I get a paper cut, the whole world can hear me screaming.
I,
I've been around for weeks with the finger
mhm,
like this, right?
yeah,
And you're not able to grasp things. You're not able to hold on to things. So that is the same thing with the pillar. If one pillar is broken, the others have to try to support the human that is inside of those pillars, right? And it doesn't always work. So you have to be aware of what you're going to do and how you're talking to that person that you know that needs your help. And you can, I have been there. Like when they talk to me about money, I said, listen to me.
mhm.
I saved $1.75 every week. That was it. So when I wrote it on the board and I put $3.50 bi-weekly, a student at the seminar said to me, Miss, you have the decimal point in the wrong place.
Oh,
He thought it was 350. It was only $3.50.
oh,
But I kept at it. That's where the resilience came in. And I said, no, I have to start somewhere. So when
hmm
I ask you to do something where you have to crawl and go slowly and keep going, even when you fall, when your knees are bruised, and when you save 20, but you had to take 10 off. I do not want you to stop. Go back and put that $2 next week. So that's, to me, that's all. Life is a thing of resilience. It is. You can't stop.
that's true. Like that's true with the money we do and relationships and even our attempts if we want to create new things, new
Mhm.
IG lives. It's true.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
very true.
every day. It's resilient. Day.
It is amazing. Yeah, nice. Do you have other IG lives tonight, or that's the only one you have with me tonight?
Surely you jest. I have one at 7. My regular live is at 7.
Oh, I see.
So I do 2 lives a day.
In the morning.
I
I,
do mine at 8. And
okay.
at 7 p.m. I do the 5 pillars of prosperity. So this month is the 5 miracles within the 5 pillars of prosperity.
Oh, I see.
So on Monday night, we discuss emotional prosperity.
Oh, that's nice.
And then
So,
Tuesday night, we do physical. So it's finding the miracle
oh,
of these pillars. And Wednesday night, we do mental. Thursday night is spiritual. And Friday night, we do financial.
oh, I see.
So if we're doing a theme for the month, I find to help people to see how there is a miracle in your emotional prosperity. And somebody actually asked me, why do I call it a prosperity? I say, anything you have that is at A plus, or right up there, you are prosperous in it. Whether it's your emotional health, your mental health, your financial, you know, some
Yeah,
people think it's prosperity is only in goods and services and money, but it's not. It's anything you have that is working well for your betterment.
that's true. And it's multiplying itself to make it better. It's
Yes.
true.
So
Very
in
nice.
we are a miracle. Okay, so
We are.
we are. There's no way that of the thousands of little sperms that swam, this one survived. That's a miracle. That's the first miracle you perform. So knowing that you're created, if you believe in creation on the God of miracles, then you are a miracle, and you have a right, and you have the it in you to produce and to create the miracles within you. So how do you do that? By working hard at it.
Yeah, working hard and trying to help others, because sometimes by helping others, you get out of your mind to actually do more.
When you help others, or when you assist, like if somebody says to me, like when I said, you know what, I love doing lives. Lives is like drinking water to me.
There you go.
So I said, I'll help anybody who wants to do that. And then I get to know you. I get to know a little. I get to learn things about you, and how you see life. And my experiences with you, I can use it to coach somebody else.
Yeah, that's true. Like a word, a sentence, or a feeling in the discussion. That's true.
Yes. So something that you have said on this live, I will remember things. Like I really listen to you, and I take it in. And when I get that information, I am able to use it with the next person or the next live, or I pull it. I call them threads, because I call you, you look down and there's a little thread laying in your lap. And that's an idea. So that idea now, I look at the thread and I pull on it and say, what's at the end of this? Let me see how I can get into it. What is going to happen? And so you get a hook and you pull it up and you can go higher with it. Or you get something you can really pull on and feed off and share. So that's how I look at helping others. It helps me to get new information, because I empty my cup every day.
Oh, I see. And that makes sense, because new ideas, and that's what gives you energy, because you're always full of energy. It's amazing.
It's the water that I drink. Is it Toronto?
Oh, there you go.
Toronto water.
It's good water. I'm getting some tea.
Like Ontario.
Oh, I see.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, I know.
Energy comes from, what other choice do I have? I have you. What other choice?
Yeah.
We're alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first thing.
Yeah. And I do agree that the IG Live is so amazing, because we can do it from our living room, and we meet people from around the world. So it's amazing.
It's amazing. And the thing about it is the gratitude that comes from it. Like this little thing here, that little cell phone. It's a miracle. You're all the way, you're not that far away, you're 4 hours away, right? About that. And we're connecting. But then when I do a live with somebody from Iran or New Zealand, Australia, another time, England, Europe, California, that's another world away. How else would we meet if it wasn't for the magic and the magic that came into these people's head to get them to create this little thing that we hold in the palm of our hand that absorbs us all. That alone is a miracle, right?
And as you mentioned, and you're making ties and you're making connections, and it's amazing.
And people share their thoughts, their innermost thoughts. You listen to what people have to say. It's like reading books. Every time you read, you're going where the author has been. So you're visiting all these worlds that the author has created in their mind. So it's the same thing. Now we have this device to see the worlds from somebody else's point of view, or how they live. And we take simple things for granted, like clean water. Yet there's people that, although when I teach gratitude, I do not teach comparison. So I always say, do not compare what you have to this person who doesn't have. That is not gratitude, that's comparison. But the fact still remains, wherever you are, you have a lot to be grateful for. Every
day. And the event has that section on the Discord where you can just say your gratitude of the day, and I love it. Because sometimes it gives a chance to sit down and just think of gratefulness. And I know that you talk about gratefulness every day, and
Oh,
it's amazing. But sometimes I don't always have time, so that has helped me a bit.
no, thank you. The thing about, I did gratitude for a whole entire month of
Yeah, I
October,
saw that.
Mondays, and I did it on Saturday and Sunday too. So I did actually 31 days of gratitude. But gratitude by itself is gratitude is in tiny, tiny little things, you know? And it doesn't have to be the big audacious things happening to you that's to be grateful for. You can just be grateful that you do not care about your heart, but it's keeping you alive. We don't even
True.
pay attention to it unless it pumps our chest so hard we're in pain and we collapse somewhere. And we, oh, I have something in there that's not working, doctor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But other than that, we do not acknowledge it. So with gratitude, I taught people how to acknowledge your body
Yeah, that's true.
and what it's capable of doing. So I'd ask them, how did the floor feel beneath your feet this morning?
Hmm.
Or can you remember? So I started making people be more aware. And somebody said, I really didn't realize that, you know, and those feet of ours, we abuse them, put them in shoes that do not fit.
And we're on these feet all day doing all kind of things that I know.
They go wherever we say, let's do this. They're
Yeah.
able. And when they stop, we call them bad.
Yeah, that's true.
We say, oh, my bad leg, my bad.
Yeah. And it's bad because you did not take care of them too
But
much. And to be honest with you, the that's I mentioned earlier that I was a geologist years
yes,
ago.
yes,
It's one of the reasons why I just wanted to step out. Because when you're in geology and you wear backpacks, heavy weight all the time, it's hard on your body. So I loved it when I did that. But at some point I needed to think, okay, is it what's best in the long run? And that's when I decided to change career at that time. It was just easier. You need to be mindful of your body at
yes.
that time.
It's like you have a house and you're burning it down.
I
You,
know.
your house, that body is your house.
It's true.
And
Yeah.
use it. So gratitude is to be grateful. But when you practice gratitude in those 16 hours that we have, that we're not supposed to be sleeping in, if we
Hmm.
have, is it 22,400, 86,400 seconds in a day? And we cannot spend 10 to be grateful we had lunch today?
Hmm.
And the more you are grateful, the more the law of attraction brings more reasons and purposes for you to be grateful. Gratitude has siblings and brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And if you like to be grateful, it sends you more people to be grateful.
Hmm. Because it allows you to see opportunities. Because
Yes,
if you're grateful for one thing, then you can be grateful for something you did not even know
that's
you
right.
could be grateful about.
And so I taught the gratitude in 3 sections. Do you know they teach us as a child? Oh, be grateful to Uncle John. He just gave you a Christmas present. And we're grateful to this lady. She just did this. We forget to be grateful for the body we live in that is able and capable to serve and to help, right? And then we are not, we wait until we receive to be grateful.
Yeah.
But I said to you, Ellen, I'm so grateful for you. You will think of me in a nicer way. And
It's
you
true.
help me. And that is
Yeah.
what it is. I haven't received the help from you, but because I said I was grateful for you taking the time to do this live with me, you feel better for me. And you will maybe step up another time. Say, oh, TessaMarie, I'll help you. And
Yeah.
that's what it does because I'm being grateful before I received it.
Yeah. And it's a big difference because you don't do it with expectation. And
No,
I think it keeps it so much nicer. And that's why I was saying I'm grateful for your time because you're talking to so many people around the planet that I feel that it's very nice that you have the time to be with me today.
I'm grateful. I better let you go. I'm sure your children are waiting for you to go to dinner.
They want pasta. They told me they have a sign. They show me the box of pasta. So it's time for me to do lunch and to dinner. Sorry.
It's dinner. Well, you better go do that. So it was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, TessaMarie. And we'll cross path again in either Movement Maker or maybe I'll see if I can pay attention to your 7 o'clock evening pillow work, actually. There
Yes,
you go.
Well, it's called the Tessa Marie Show. The only thing I do, I actually dance on there sometimes, but that's okay.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. So thank you so much for having me. And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for dropping in and spending some time with us tonight. We hope we gave you a little bit of a nugget, a nice
Mhm.
or a little pink Canadian diamonds. We are very proud of our pink Canadian diamonds.
There you go. And we're grateful that you're here with us as an audience, and be grateful for what you have as well for the rest of the day.
Thank you so
So
much and take care. Bye-bye.
take care, Tessa Marie. It's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure. I loved it.